Welcome back to Vibes and Chemistry, your go-to spot for real talk on love, dating, and relationships. I'm your host, Kai. For today's subject, let's talk about it. You're looking at your partner thinking, who is this person? This is not the same person I fell for. Maybe they used to be sweet and attentive, and now they're distant. Maybe they were spontaneous, but now they're predictable, boring even. Or maybe the chemistry was strong at first, but now it feels like you're just existing next to each other. So now you're asking yourself, did they change, or did I just wake up and see them differently? And most importantly, should we break up? Yup, we're getting into it today. Let's break this down. Segment 1, the illusion of the honeymoon phase. First things first, we gotta talk about the honeymoon phase. That magical period where everything is new, exciting, and you swear you found the one. They can do no wrong, right? But let's be real with ourselves here. During those first few months, we're not dating the real version of someone. We're dating their highlight reel. And guess what? They're doing the same thing with you. We're all putting our best foot forward, whether it's dressing up more, being extra affectionate, or just making sure we don't do anything to turn the other person off. But time has a funny way of peeling back those layers. So, before you say they've changed, ask yourself, did they change, or did I just finally see them clearly? Segment 2, growth or disconnection. Now, let's say you are seeing changes. Maybe they actually have changed. The question is it normal growth, or is it a sign of disconnection? Here's how to tell the difference. Growth. Growth feels like evolution. Maybe they're not as carefree as they used to be because they're focusing on their career. Maybe they're not texting you all day anymore, but they're still making time for real quality moments. Disconnection. Disconnection feels like absence. If they've stopped trying, aren't present in conversations, or don't seem interested in the relationship anymore, that's a different story. See the difference? Growth means they're changing, but still showing up for the relationship. Disconnection means they're slipping away. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Sometimes disconnection looks like growth, but really, it's them slowly checking out. And that's hard to recognize because it doesn't always happen overnight. Let's say in the beginning they were all about quality time, always planning dates, calling you just to hear your voice. But now they're suddenly too busy. They say things like, you know I've got a lot going on, or we don't need to hang out all the time, we're good. But are you all good though? Or are they just comfortable? Because there's a huge difference between someone who's growing but still values you versus someone who's pulling back because they don't want to put in the same effort anymore. And listen, life does happen. People get stressed, go through transitions, and sometimes they just don't have the same energy for the relationship that they used to. But the real question is, are they communicating that with you, or are they just expecting you to accept less and be okay with it? Because if someone is truly growing with you, they'll say, hey, I know I've been a little distant lately, and I don't want you to feel like I'm pulling away. Let's find a way to keep things strong while I navigate this. That's what effort looks like. But if they've just stopped checking in, stopped showing up, and you feel like you're the only one trying, that's not growth. That's them slowly detaching, whether they realize it or not. Segment 3, the role you played. Now let's flip it. Because before you start blaming them for changing, ask yourself, have I changed as well? Relationships are a two-way street, and sometimes we stop bringing the same energy we once did. And sometimes we also get complacent. Think back to when y'all first got together. Were you more patient, more affectionate, more open? Were you more willing to let small things slide? And if so, what changed? Listen, I'm not saying you're the problem, but our best bet is to be as realistic with ourselves as we can. So if you're sitting here wondering why things feel different, you gotta ask, am I still giving what I used to give and putting the same energy into this as I first was? At the end of the day, relationships take mutual effort. So before you assume that your partner is the only one who changed, ask yourself, am I still showing up the way I used to? Are we both trying, or are we just coasting? Segment 4, are they still showing up? Alright, so let's say you've taken a step back and realized this person isn't showing up for the relationship like they used to. Now the real question is, are they willing to work on it? Relationships will go through phases. The passion might not always be at a 10. People go through stress, life shifts, personal growth, but what matters is, do they care enough to meet you halfway? Because if someone wants to be there, they will show it. Maybe they are just in a slump. Maybe they don't even realize they've pulled back. A real conversation might be all it takes to reset the energy. But here's the catch. Effort is a choice. If you bring up how you're feeling and they hit you with, "That's just how I am now," or "You're being dramatic," that's a sign they're not invested in making things better. And that's something you cannot fix on your own. So before you decide if this relationship still has potential, ask yourself, are they showing signs of effort even in small ways? Because the truth is, effort isn't just about grand gestures. It's about consistency, presence, and making sure you both still feel valued. Segment 5, when it might be time to walk away. Let's keep it real. Sometimes people do change in ways that make them no longer compatible with us, and that's the hard truth. If you've had the conversations, made the effort, and you still feel disconnected, it might be time to ask yourself if you're holding on to who they used to be instead of accepting who they are now. And that's okay. Outgrowing a relationship isn't failure, it's life. The worst thing you can do is stay in something that no longer aligns with who you've become. Segment 6, what's the final answer? So, should you break up? That depends on the answers to these 3 questions. 1. Is this just the end of the honeymoon phase, or is there real disconnection? 2. Have both of you changed in a way that still supports the relationship, or is it pulling you apart? 3. Is your partner willing to show up and do the work, or are they emotionally checked out? If the answers point to disconnection, unwillingness, and misalignment, it might be time to let go. And I know that's not easy. Walking away from something familiar, something that once made you happy, is hard. But staying in something that no longer serves you, that's even harder. But if the changes are just a natural evolution of your relationship and you both want to keep growing together, then this might just be a season, not the end of the story. Because real love isn't about staying the same. It's about choosing each other through the changes. So before you make any big moves, take a moment. Check in with yourself. Is this a relationship that still feeds your soul, or are you just holding on to the past? Once you answer that, you'll know exactly what to do. All right, y'all. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever been in a relationship where the person just didn't feel the same anymore? Did you work through it, or did you walk away? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be down there reading and responding. And if this video hit home, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on those notifications. We have so much more to talk about when it comes to love, relationships, and everything in between. Until next time, stay vibing, stay growing, and remember, chemistry is everything. Peace.